Welcome back to Blake's Den. Welcome back to Project Designer. So, pretty much finished everything I want to do on the front end now. I now want to remove the rear subframe. I thought I'd bring you along for the ride and show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to make the most of my CJ Auto's tilting car lift. If you haven't seen my review of that, click the link above. Whilst I've got it sort of nose up, I want to undo the exhaust clamp, which is down somewhere in there. And the reason I need to do that is there's quite a lot of jobs to do before I even think about putting a spanner on the subframe bolts. So I need the exhaust off, I need the fuel tank out, I need the battery lead out, I need the handbrake cables disconnected, brake lines disconnected, and then I need to soak all of the subframe bolts in penetrating oil. So, right, I'll make a start on that. So we're ready to tip this. I've got a helper about to pull the pin out on the other side, and then I'll tip the car forward. So fingers crossed this works. I'm amazed that all the exhaust clamps have come off without shearing the bolts, the U-bolts, or breaking anything really. And I'm using my top of a range Parkside impact gun from Lidl. It's actually really good. Right, so now the exhaust is hanging down, I can get that off. Did have a minor panic there off camera. I noticed that the whole Mini was slipping forwards. So I had it at the steepest tilt like that, and because there's no weight on the back essentially, it was just slipping forwards, and you can tell if you look back at the previous video, you can see where the pivot point is in relation to the jacking point. I did have it about here. So yeah, whole thing's a bit out of balance now, but I've got some axle stands under it, which is, to be honest, that's advised anyway in the user manual for the lift. So yeah, I'm only making the back end light. I got the wheels to come off, the tank to come out and things like that. So what I think I'll probably do is do a bit more work, and then I'll reposition it just to try and get the balance point a bit more rear, so that when the subframe's out, it's more balanced. Fuel tank is out. That was super simple. Case of undoing the strap, taking the filler cap off, pushing the neck through, unclipping the sender unit, unclipping the breather pipe, unclipping the fuel pipe. 5-minute job, super simple, didn't film it. Fuel tank's over here, and it's in surprisingly good condition actually. Let's see if we can show you inside what's going on. This probably won't show up very well because it's going to be focusing in the wrong point, but it's surprisingly clean in there, so that's really good. I mean, on the outside it's quite good as well. So right, that'll go away somewhere miles away from the car for when I'm grinding and welding. The handbrake cable also needs to be detached to get the subframe off, so rather than winding back the adjuster, I've simply just popped out the split pin, which removes the end from the handbrake. I've also just removed a little plate as well, so I've got loads of slack on the front cable. And now I'll go underneath and disconnect the rear cables. So we're now under the car. This is the front part of the cables now loose, but then there's a loop goes through there, round to each wheel, and goes through the quadrants which are up, hidden away there. So you need to disconnect it from the back of the drum and then feed it through, and then we'll get the handbrake out of the way. Just looking at this subframe, it actually doesn't look too bad a condition. It's got some form of rust protection on it in places. The boot floor looks okay as well. And I think this has been replaced before, because this is the positive battery lead which goes through to the starter motor. That should come through there, then go basically to there, like that. But it's not, it's going sort of up and behind the subframe, which suggests this has been out before. So, interesting. But yeah, looks a lot better. Even the battery box isn't too bad, considering. So right, I'll get these handbrake bits undone, and then once handbrake's done, we've then got to do the brake line here. I forgot how much fun this is. I don't know if you can't even see it. I can't even get in to see it, but that there is the handbrake quadrant, and it's sort of crimped over on one end so that the whole quadrant turns with the handbrake cable. But obviously to get the cable out you then need to prise that apart, so I'm just doing that with a screwdriver now. The other side is just completely seized, so more WD-40 required. Handbrake's cable's off. It took a lot of wrestling. The quadrant on the driver's side was completely seized. So the next job is to crack off this pipe brake line. So I've got an 11mm pipe spanner on there. Just taking it gentle. There we are. So I've actually put a like a plastic bag over the brake fluid reservoir, then put the cap back on, just to try and minimise the amount of fluid loss. I mean, the whole thing will need new brake fluid in anyway. I just don't want it all pouring out on the floor here where I'm working. I've also got a bottle to hand ready to catch the fluid. So yeah, this has got quite awkward to do single-handed. I'll see you in a second. Whilst the brake fluid's draining, I thought I'd actually remove the boot lid. It doesn't have to come off, but it's just going to make access easier, and I'm not going to keep hitting it with my head. So there seems to be like a series of studs coming out of there, except one of them has been replaced with a bolt for some unknown reason, and I think they are 7/16, except that one, which is something else. So it's a case of undoing those, undoing this two straps there, and it should just lift off. Also as well, I want to take this bumper off. Again, doesn't have to come off, but I'm going to replace the valance anyway, so I might as well just take it off while I'm in this area. With the boot lid out of the way, I can now get the top of the shock absorbers loosened off. So I've got a 14mm ratchet spanner on the nut, but then the whole thing spins round, so I've got a 7mm normal spanner on the top, so just to stop it from spinning. So just a case of doing this. This shock absorber put up quite a fight. In the end I had to clamp some mold grips on the top, but it should be free now. So if we come around this side, you see I've got an incredibly rusty shock absorber. I've never seen a rusty one before. But let's see, it should come through now. No, I'm going to have to try with two hands. Hang on. Alright, let's see if we can get this out. This is supposed to be the easy bit. Okay, I can really wedge something in there. That didn't sound good. There we are. So now just get that out of the way. I mean, I'm just going to take them off with the subframe. I'm not going to even undo them from the arms. So I'm finally ready now to undo the bolts holding the subframe in. So for the last week or so, I've been spraying them with WD-40. Just separate point, I buy my WD-40 in 5 litre bulk and then put it in spray bottle. It seems to last a lot longer. So yeah, I've got the bolts to undo down here. One there and one there, same on the other side. I've already cracked them off ever so slightly, but I'm really just going to take my time. These go into captive nuts which are inside the sill, so if these bolts snap you can get into quite a lot of bother, because you then can't get what's left of the stud out or the bolt out. So I'm just taking it slowly, wind them in and out, trying to break any dirt on them, and yeah, continually spraying them with WD-40. I've also got a trolley jack underneath, and I'll do the same on the other side, and then when they're both done I will lower them down gradually. The bolt at this side, so there's like a trunnion here. You can't really see that. Let me see if I can make that a bit brighter for you. Because those are through bolts which come through into the boot lid down there, I'm not worried if they snap. So I'll just get the impact gun onto them. Right, onwards. Well, that went as expected. The two bottom bolts on either side have sheared. So not ideal, but I'm hoping there's just enough left to get weld a nut on or something to pull it out. But see how it goes. Right, so all the bolts are off now. It's just held on by whatever tiny bit of stud is left there. So if I drop the two trolley jacks, it should come down. Right, I think we've got it now. I've just prized that apart there with a screwdriver, which is where it was catching on the snapped off stud. So let's see if this drops some more. Well, I didn't catch the exact moment, but subframe out. I've just got on a couple of dollies here just to help move it around, and it's a bit of a mixed bag really. So I thought this was too far gone. I mean, it is rusty, but I don't know, it seems solid. The other side's not too bad either. I mean, still got the original coating on this side, so possibly savable. I need to clean it up and have a better look at it. As for the underneath of the car, well, the heel board here is very crusty, but solid. So, which is really surprising. So, bit of a win. I mean, there's a few crusty bits here and there, but this wheel arch is gone, as I thought it would be. But yeah, not too bad. And I've still got a tiny bit, if you can see there, of bolt sticking out. And the snapped off studs, so hopefully I can weld a nut on that. Put a heat cycle through it and get it out. So, fingers crossed. Right, well, I'm going to leave that video there for now. Fairly good progress. So, hope you found it interesting. Thanks for coming and joining me in the garage whilst I've messed around with rusty cars. So, if you've liked the video, don't forget to press like. Don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe. It costs you nothing to subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at BlakeSten. Also, as this video is going out a few days before Christmas, I just want to wish you all a happy Christmas and thank you all for watching over the years. So, hope you're all staying safe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.